The situation in Indiana just keeps getting better.
Her 41st. Clark stepping back on the baseline, knocking it down from the mid-range. That's a beautiful mid-range.
In their recent game against the Sparks, Caitlin Clark didn't just make history with a phenomenal triple-double, but she also became the first rookie to hit 100 three-pointers in a single season. That's right, she's only the sixth player in WNBA history to hit that milestone. But there's more. The Fever is heating up, and it's not all because of Clark. Aliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell are shining as well. And Coach Christy Sides just earned her first Coach of the Month award in franchise history. We're diving into all the details in this video.
Let's kick things off with that epic game against the Los Angeles Sparks. Caitlin Clark didn't just put up a triple-double, she dominated the court with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. She's now the first rookie in WNBA history to notch a second triple-double. Clark is changing what it means to be a rookie, and the most impressive part is how effortless she makes it look. Her court vision is unreal. She's finding teammates who don't even know they're open. And those three-pointers, she didn't just hit the 100 mark, she did it in style. Clark is playing a brand of basketball that the WNBA hasn't seen before. And the craziest part is that she's doing it consistently, night after night. She's proving she's not just hype,
with
she's
24
the real
points,
deal.
10
and the
rebounds,
Indiana Fever has
and
a
10 assists.
Superstar on their hands.
She became the
But
first
we
rookie
can't
in
talk about the
WNBA
Fever's
history
success
to
without
achieve a
mentioning
second
Aliyah
triple-double.
Boston. In the same game against the Sparks, Boston was an absolute powerhouse, finishing with 24 points and 14 rebounds. That's more than just a double-double, it's a statement. Boston has been rock solid all season.
She's only the sixth player
But
in
this performance
WNBA
is
history
exactly
to
what the
reach
Fever
that
needs
mark.
heading into the
But
playoffs.
wait, the
Think
Fever
about it.
is on fire.
In a playoff series,
and it's not just because
you
of
need someone
Clark.
who can dominate the
Aliyah
paint
Boston
and grab those
and Kelsey
crucial
Mitchell are
rebounds
tearing
in the
it
fourth
up.
quarter.
And Coach
Boston
Christy,
is showing she
all
can
the
be that
WNBA
player.
has never
What makes
seen
her
before.
stand out is her
And
versatility.
you know what's even crazier.
She's not
She's
just
doing
a
this
back-to-the-basket
consistently.
player. She can run the pick and roll, dish out assists, and protect the rim. And here's the kicker. Boston is only 22 years old. She's still learning and growing, and in 2 or 3 years, the sky's the limit for her. The Fever is fortunate to have both her and Clark. Now, let's talk about the third piece of this fantastic trio, Kelsey Mitchell. She's been the heart and soul of this Fever team for years. And in this game, she once again showed why. Mitchell ended the night with 18 points, but it's not just about the numbers. She hit shots at crucial moments, keeping the pressure on the Sparks when they were trying to close the gap. The chemistry between Mitchell and Clark is something special. It feels like they've been playing together for years, not just months. What makes Mitchell invaluable to the team is her experience. She's been through the tough times, seen the Fever struggle at the bottom of the standings, and now she's leading the team through its resurgence alongside younger players. And in the middle of all this is Coach Christy Sides. She just won Coach of the Month, and it's well-deserved. Can you believe this is the first time in franchise history a Fever coach has won the award?
Here we go, let's go.
What Sides has accomplished with this team is nothing short of incredible. She took a squad that only won 5 games last season and turned them into a serious playoff contender. And they're not just sneaking into the playoffs, they're playing high-level basketball, competing with the best teams in the league. The offensive system Sides has implemented is perfect for the skill sets of Clark, Boston, and Mitchell. She's managed to get the best out of each player, creating an offense that's both unpredictable and deadly. Perhaps Sides' most impressive feat is how she's handled the media frenzy surrounding Clark. It would be easy for the team to get caught up in all the attention, but Sides has kept them grounded and focused. She's built a culture of hard work and constant improvement, and it's paying off. Winning Coach of the Month is not just a personal achievement for Sides, it's a testament to the fantastic teamwork we're seeing from the Fever. Now, let's zoom out for a moment and look at the bigger WNBA picture. While the Fever is on the rise, there's drama brewing in the battle for the final playoff spot. And guess who's in the thick of it? None other than Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. After a tough loss to the Las Vegas Aces, the Sky's in a tricky position, fighting with the Atlanta Dream for that last playoff spot. It's wild to think that at the beginning of the season, many people expected Reese and Clark to be the 2 dominant rookies, but now we're seeing 2 very different stories unfold. While Clark is making history and leading the Fever to the playoffs, Reese is in a fierce battle just to make it in. The Sky has some must-win games ahead, and they'll need everything they've got to secure that playoff spot. Meanwhile, the Fever is already looking ahead to potential playoff matchups. It's fascinating to see how Clark's and Reese's careers, which were so intertwined in college, are taking such different paths in the WNBA. At the start of the season, all eyes were on Angel Reese. After all, the Sky had an established reputation and recent success in the WNBA. Reese, one of the most highly anticipated rookies, was expected to inject new energy into the team. It seemed like the Sky was poised to make headlines. But the Indiana Fever, with Caitlin Clark leading the charge, had other plans. As the season progressed, it became clear that something special was happening in Indiana. Clark wasn't just performing well for a rookie, she was reshaping what's expected from a newcomer in the league. While the Sky struggled to find consistency and a clear identity with Reese, the Fever just kept improving. The chemistry between Clark, Boston, and Mitchell was undeniable. And the result was a Fever team that didn't just make the playoffs, but did so convincingly, leaving the Sky in their wake. As the playoffs approach, the narrative in the WNBA has shifted dramatically. The focus is no longer on the Sky or any other established team. It's on the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. Fans, analysts, and even players from rival teams can't stop talking about the Fever's potential in the postseason. Meanwhile, the Sky is fighting for that last playoff spot, becoming almost an afterthought in the Fever's exciting story. It's a powerful reminder of how quickly things can change in sports, and how a rising star like Clark can transform not just a team, but an entire league. But the story isn't over. In fact, it's just getting started. The Fever isn't just entering the playoffs. They're entering with full momentum. Imagine how the other WNBA teams must be feeling after watching that game against the Sparks. They have to be nervous. Clark is racking up triple-doubles. Boston is dominating the paint. And Mitchell is hitting clutch shots. Who's going to stop this team? And don't forget, the Fever has been underestimated all season long. A lot of people thought they were just overhyped because of Clark, but they've proven they're much more than that. They're a complete team, well-coached and hungry for victory. And here's the real kicker. What if this is just the beginning? What if Clark, Boston, and Mitchell are still only scratching the surface of their potential? They're young, and they're getting better with every game. Who knows what they'll be capable of in the playoffs when the pressure is at its peak? And we can't overlook the impact of Coach Sides, who has shown she's a master at making adjustments. How will she surprise opponents in the postseason? The Fever is showing they have all the ingredients to be a dominant force in the WNBA. This game against the Sparks was a perfect showcase of the team's potential. Every player contributed, and the balance between the stars and the supporting cast was clear. Together, they form a cohesive unit that's greater than the sum of its parts. And we can't forget the underappreciated work of Lexi Hull. Hull may not grab the headlines or fill the stat sheet, but her impact on the game is undeniable. Her tenacious defense and smart off-ball movement are crucial to the Fever's success. Hull embodies the team's spirit and commitment that defines this new era of the Fever. With players like Boston and Hull complementing Clark's offensive brilliance and Mitchell's leadership, the Fever has all the elements to become a lasting powerhouse in the league. The anticipation for this year's playoffs is at an all-time high, and for good reason. The regular season has already given us electrifying moments and unforgettable performances, but the real excitement is about to begin. Caitlin Clark's arrival on the playoff stage brings a whole new level of intrigue. Her incredible court vision, long-range shooting, and ability to elevate her teammates promise to make the postseason even more thrilling. But that's not all. The established juggernauts like the New York Liberty and Las Vegas Aces are preparing for an epic showdown. The Liberty, an offensive powerhouse, and the Aces, led by Aja Wilson, defending their title with a blend of individual talent and team chemistry, are set to clash in what promises to be a basketball spectacle. Clark's presence adds an unpredictable element to the mix, creating the potential for some truly magical moments in the playoffs. Add to that the pressure, the intense rivalries, and the players' burning desire to leave their mark on league history, and you've got the recipe for what could be one of the most exciting and memorable postseasons in WNBA history. I, for one, can't wait to see how it all plays out. What do you think? Do the Indiana Fever have what it takes to go all the way? Will Clark continue to shatter records in the playoffs? Will Aliyah Boston dominate against the league's top centers? And what about Kelsey Mitchell? Could she be the X factor that takes the Fever to the championship? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the Fever can make a deep run? Or will their inexperience hold them back? And what about Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky? Can they lock down that final playoff spot? How do you see that battle ending? Don't forget to like this video if you're as pumped as I am for the WNBA playoffs.
And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, now's the perfect time. Click that subscribe button so you don't miss any updates about the WNBA and these young stars who are shaking up the game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.